In the year 2047, the sky split open. At first, people thought it was a trick of the light. A thin red line stretched across the clouds at sunset, glowing faintly like a wound that refused to close. Phones came out. Videos were posted. Scientists made careful statements about atmospheric anomalies. Then the line widened. At 11:43 p.m., the sirens began. The crack tore open with a sound like grinding metal, and from it, shapes fell. They did not burn like meteors. They drifted downward slowly, twisting, stretching. Wrong in ways the human eye struggled to understand. When they touched the ground, the air turned cold, and color drained from everything around them. On the outskirts of the city, Captain Marolian watched it happen. Her unit, Echo 7, had been deployed to the first impact site, a residential block now silent and gray. Streetlights flickered weakly. Cars sat abandoned with doors open. No bodies, no blood. Just stillness. Mara stepped forward, boots crunching against frost that hadn't been there an hour ago. Her breath came out in sharp white clouds. In the middle of the street stood a figure made of smoke and fractured light. It was tall and thin, almost human, but its edges blurred into the air like ink dissolving in water. It did not move. It did not blink. It spoke. "You are afraid of what comes next." The voice did not echo. It sounded as if it were inside Mara's head. Her soldiers opened fire. Bullets tore through the figure without resistance, punching holes in nothing. The shadow did not flinch. Then Private Henson screamed. He dropped his rifle and clawed at his helmet, gasping as if drowning. "It's all gone," he whispered. "Everyone's gone." One by one, the others faltered. They saw things Mara couldn't see, or perhaps she simply hadn't seen them yet. Futures unraveling. Cities swallowed by black oceans, skies without suns, children never born. Then it reached her. Mara saw Earth from space, cracked like porcelain. She saw nations at war, not with weapons, but with panic. She saw people turning on each other. Fear spreading faster than any disease. The planet didn't explode in fire. It rotted in despair. Her knees nearly buckled. The shadow flickered, growing denser, stronger. It was feeding on them, not their bodies, their fear. Mara forced herself to breathe, slow, steady. The vision clawed at her mind, but she focused on something smaller. Closer, the sound of her heartbeat, the weight of the ground beneath her boots, the fact that she was still here. The future she had seen was only a possibility, not a certainty. She lowered her weapon. "I'm not afraid," she said. Though the words trembled, the shadow rippled. Behind her, someone took a shaking breath. Then another. The soldiers steadied themselves, eyes squeezed shut as they forced the visions away. They reached for each other instead of their guns. The creature's edges began to unravel. "If you do not fear the future," it whispered, its voice thinning like smoke in wind, "you cannot be controlled." Above them, the red crack pulsed violently. The shadow shrank, collapsing inward until it was no larger than a fist-sized knot of darkness. Then it dissolved into ash that vanished before touching the ground. The cold lifted, color returned. The streetlights steadied, high above. The wound in the sky sealed shut as if it had never existed. In the days that followed, governments struggled to explain what had happened. Scientists eventually reached a theory that chilled even the most rational minds. The crack had not come from somewhere else. It had come from sometime else. A ripple from a possible future, one where fear had hollowed humanity out from the inside. Where panic had done what no invasion ever could. The shadows were not conquerors. They were warnings. And on the night the sky broke, humanity had chosen, however briefly, not to surrender to what might happen. The future shifted. Not because the threat was destroyed, but because fear was not allowed to win.